Now I've been listening to this Drake record for a few days now, and before you Kendrick Cucks and fake hip hop heads decide to chime in and pipe up, we'll just keep it about the record for a moment. So I that second verse, I really like that bar where Drake said, "On the dead guys, you're gonna need on some TLC shit. You're gonna need a chili ice pack for your left eye." That shit was hard. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was hard. I like that shit. But it's so crazy. What's so crazy about the song is that so LeBron wasn't some groupie fangirl. This man wasn't singing this guy's music word for word like he wanted to give him lip service and then switched up. I mean, that shit's pretty funny to me. That shit's pretty funny to me. Like, be so fanned out and then act brand new. That's how hoes act. Like, dude was a groupie. Dude was a groupie. But my whole thing about hip hop now and the state of hip hop is just weird because, like, I looked at the whole 20v1 thing, right? And I was thinking, like, there's no way that anybody is actually counting it or keeping score right. Like, kill the hype for a minute and look at it unbiased. And I've never bought a Drake record. I bought Kendrick records. I've never bought a Drake record. That's just being real. But I had to really sit back and look at the situation like, nah, ain't no way. Because, like, take this for example, right? You got Ricky Replica, who, wait, didn't he admit to raping women? Didn't he openly admit to raping women? And then he built his whole career off of stealing another man's name and story and had to pay that man. This same dude who was an officer, and the only reason why he has a career today is because of the other guy, has something to say. Openly admitted to raping women, was an officer, and built his career off of some shit he ain't about. That's hip hop. That's hip hop though. And it's just crazy because I watched the way that it played out, and it's like, for somebody to switch up and then start making butt jokes, like grown men making butt jokes, and then to go and use some like Willie Lynch indoctrination type racism with the same man that built you. You would have just, that's crazy. That's crazy. So that's Ricky Replica. Alright, so then you got, let's take a second to think about that. That's crazy. Alright, so then you got Metro beat making bitch. How does another man tell you to shut the fuck up and do what I told you to do, and then you go and do it like a bitch? And what's even crazier about it is that they started off making nose jokes and somehow turned nose jokes into BBL jokes, Brazilian butt lift. So he went and did exactly what he was told to do, like a bitch, and then started making butt jokes. Butt jokes. You can't be serious. Right. And I don't even want to get started on Kanye, but let me just ask this. So wait, Didn't Kanye get liposuction? He was hooked on opioids. Didn't Amber Rose expose that he liked to have a finger in the ass? Isn't that the same person who became Trump's token nigga? And then went and made Christian music. And then showed up at the red carpet with his wife naked. Right. Right. And then he lost a deal for making racial slurs about Jews, and then went around Hollywood wearing swastikas. I'm still counting up the roster, so I'll wait to see what anybody has to say. Okay. And then you have Pharrell. Now, am I tripping? Or does this man's voice sound like he plays the piccolo? I don't know what it is. But there's something about him that just sounds like he would be skipping through the forest playing the piccolo. I don't know what it is. And you know, it definitely doesn't help that he was posted on the cover of GQ representing the new masculine in a puffer dress. That's the new masculine. And this same man had his chains bought and then melted down. And if you know about rap and hip hop, you know about how important, how big of a deal it is about chains and hip hop. Ask Gucci. So the idea that this dude is beefing with this other man and he represents the new masculine, posted on the cover of GQ in puffer dresses. In a puffer dress. And had his chains bought and melted down. Killed his whole legacy. Okay. And since we're on the topic of fashion, let's get to ASUS Rocky for a second. Who is hip hop, but, you know, and I'll give him credit where it's due. He brought high fashion to hip hop. High fashion. The same thing that demasculates men. But like I said, credit where it's due. So thank you, ASUS Rocky, for bringing hair barrettes, or whatever you call them, and painted nails. Painted nails to hip hop. And the thing that is so crazy about it is the other dude is the one that put him on. The other dude is the one that put him on. And then he wanted to take credit for fucking dude's hoe, but he was fucking your wife. Right. So you got painted nails, little hair accessories. That's the same dude who put you on, and he was fucking your wife before you. Right. Okay. But as I digress, then there was T.I. And the thing about T.I. is how did somebody with already a criminal record magically impossibly get 1 year for guns, for a gun case. Where? How? You know how. It'd be different if he never had a record. I could almost buy that. And if it wasn't the type of guns that he had, maybe. But seriously, you know. And then the other thing about this dude is that, well, let's see. You better use your Nikes, bro. Fast as lightning, bro. Not as fast as Mayweather. Not as fast as Mayweather. This dude was walking around with 2 black eyes after he got beat the fuck up by a dude who was talking shit about fucking his wife. And I don't even know what the results were of the other situation. I just thought it was kind of like, there's a lot of this going on in Hollywood, it seems like, where him and his wife got caught up on some like sex trafficking rape charges. But that's who was on the roster too, though. Right. Okay. So let's get to ball playing niggas. John More Ignorant. John Morant, yeah. Yeah, him. Who wouldn't stay the fuck off the block and just go play basketball. Got caught in 4K twice on some dumb shit with guns. And he wanna beef with this other man about a hoe. You should stick to what you know best. I just found it kind of funny that he was one of the first. He was too quick with it to start cheerleading on the side for Metro beat making bitch. Too ready, tweets and all, to be a cheerleader. Right. Hilarious. And now this was a disappointment. A disappointment. And it just goes to show, like, I found it interesting, right? People won't have shit to say about some hoe shit, but are quick to make an analysis and talk about some shit about people who actually get in the ring. Ho, J. Cole is the same one who be talking about, you know, he one of the best rappers and he'll go there and, you know, lyrically he'll get like that and everything else, and his fans be talking like he's some type of rap god. And but when push came to shove and time came for him to get like that, it was, oh, big bro, I ain't even on that with you. That nigga is a hoe. What do you mean? Ain't shit that can be said. And what's so crazy is, like, after his album dropped, and I heard like the first 6 songs, but then it was like by somewhere around there where I heard him talking about how he one of the coldest and he better than anybody who wanted with. It's what? But you not that. You a ho. A ho. Whatever, man. Like, this shit just goes to show, like, tell me where I'm wrong. Deny it. Any of it. But I'm gonna keep going. So then you got, this is for the Kendrick cucks. This is for you fake hip hop head, hype beast, not knowing, biased, just wanting to, love to hate, which is weird because it's like, there's a culture that is seen as cool to be a hater. That's not even, there's no place for that in hip hop. I've never seen that. Where is there a place where it's cool to be a hater? What made you some weirdo fucking insecure disgrace of a human being that being a hater is cool? But let me just give my perspective on Kendrick for a second. So you have somebody that exposes you for beating your wife, that you were molested as a child, that your uncle is a tranny, and then the nigga calls you out using your own little terminology of aid, and you don't want no smoke. You don't want to get like that. But that's what y'all do, right? Right. And it's like, what made it even funnier is, right, before this shit happened, this is the same dude who was posting videos of him working out and running. But didn't want to get like that. Like that. Which makes that song title even funnier. Like that. But didn't want to get like that. So you beating your wife, and a nigga wants to beat on you, and you don't want no problems. Okay. And then, here's where the Kendrick cucks come in. The nigga thought he had motion, and Drake spunt him with the dummy. And they were still talking like, oh yeah, it was a win. But dude spunt him. That's when, to me, it was like, I looked at it unbiased. I was counting both sides. But then, if somebody tricks you and you make a play, that play don't count. They got you. They got you. So, like, where did you see the win? Where did you see it? Because the thing is like, even with the Super Bowl, social media blew it up and made it look like, oh, it was just the most lit and hype and this, that, and everything else. And then you saw views of the crowds and the audience. That shit wasn't busting. That shit wasn't nothing. And they acted like he won.